Hey, I'm Veronica. How are you? My cat Padme wanted to be in the video. She's standing right behind me. Okay, there she left. All right, so we're going to do a live session today. We're going to answer some questions. Some of them were submitted to my email. If you would like your question submitted live, or rather answered live, you can submit it to veronicaisles@gmail.com. Hi, I love London. I want to go there so badly. Hi, everyone. So you can definitely have your questions answered. I have some user submitted questions. I'm going to answer some live questions as well to help you get your specific person, make someone truly desire you. So let's get started. Okay, first question is, hi, Veronica. What are your thoughts on love spells and the law of attraction? I have a friend that seems to think it's the only way to get a specific person back. Okay, so in my opinion, I think that love spells are completely unnecessary. If you think of what a love spell is, it's a concentrated effort to, you're sort of using your thoughts and your energy. So, I mean, it's similar to this idea of the law of attraction, but it's different in the way that it's like you're putting your power within the spell, like the spell is going to bring back your specific person. So it's almost like you're controlling them in some sense. So it kind of loses its value of love when you consciously change your thoughts and beliefs to welcome in love, and then this person just naturally loves you. Now, I'm sure there are some people who have had success with love spells, but again, that is putting your power, putting your creativity in the hands of something else. So it's like you're relinquishing it. And the only reason why a love spell would work is your belief anyway. So you're really just using the law of attraction in disguise. You don't need a crutch. And I think that something like a love spell or a subliminal, anything like that is a crutch. It's like you need that outer reassurance of something that's already yours. So if you want to gain, you want to increase your creativity, increase your ability to manifest good things, I would know that it all comes from within you and it doesn't come from a love spell. Okay. So let's go on to the next question. My specific person is an ex turned very best friend. I know no situation is impossible, but I've had a difficult time finding friend zone answers. He tells me he loves me constantly. That's good. And he stated that he's attracted to me. That's good too. But the romance factor is what's missing for him. I'd love it if you could shed some light and guidance on situations like this, where you have frequent and positive interactions with your specific person, but are still not where you'd like it to be. Well, I think that this kind of situation is very common. A lot of people are stuck in these sort of half relationships where you're like with the person and you're on good speaking terms and everything is there almost, but not quite. So it's almost more frustrating because you're so close yet so far away. I think that in any kind of relationship, and I've got a big yellow question. I will address that one next. In any type of relationship, sometimes it's not exactly where you want it to be. In fact, most relationships evolve and grow. Sometimes we reach a point where it feels really good, but in time we might want it to evolve and grow again because we're constantly changing and we get bored really easily. So I think that it's fine for you to want more and it's fine for you to seek this. And I think that this person's situation is really no different from a lot of you out there that might be close or on friendly terms with someone, but it's just not all there yet. It's not fulfilling. So I think first you have to recognize the things that they are doing right instead of recognizing all the things that they're doing wrong. So for example, this person said that he tells me he loves me constantly. That's awesome. So every night before you go to bed, you say, thank you, that he is acknowledging that he loves me. That's really good. Also, he stated he's attracted to me every night before you go to bed. Thank you that he is saying he's attracted to me, because think about it. If you don't give thanks for these things, I feel like you're not going to help more good things come into your world. But by acknowledging at least the good things, it's like you can welcome in more good things. You don't want to go to sleep every single night saying, He's not doing this. There's no romance. Where's the romance? I'm so frustrated that there's no romance. Look at the difference. You know, in one, you're falling asleep into the assumption of the good things, thus attracting more things to multiply. And in one hand, you're going to sleep with sort of this frustrated energy, all these things that are absent in your current life. Now, it's fine to notice that, yes, of course, you want this romance. And another thing to add on would be to say, I give thanks that romance is coming because I deserve to have romance. And again, if this is an ex situation, you can look back in the past to when this person was romantic and say to yourself, well, they were like this then. What was my mindset then? What did I believe about myself then? And think about other relationships. Other relationships are romantic. So instead of sort of saying, well, why do those people have it and I don't? You want to say, you know what? I deserve that too. And mine is coming. And I believe in myself. And I believe in romance. Romance is wonderful. And it's not an experience that has to be elusive from me. It's not an experience that has to be robbed from me. It is something that I can embrace with all of my heart, that can find me, and I deserve to have it. And I would kind of just be playful around this person instead of when you see them, see all of the things that you're missing. Because again, they're in your life. Like, you're so close. So you definitely can make it the rest of the way. I mean, there's no reason why you can't. So instead of labeling yourself being in the friend zone, I'm stuck in the friend zone, remind yourself that the best relationships come from being friends first. Okay, so I've got two bright colored questions that I'm going to address. Okay, the first one is a yellow one. Thanks for everything you do, question. What if there's so much you want to change in your life it is overwhelming? Where should we start? Now, I can completely understand this. And I think a lot of times situations are really overwhelming because you wonder, well, how do I get from point A to point B? Like, I know what I ideally want, but how on earth is that going to happen? And I think that especially when you want lots of things, and addiction, like, that's a really serious thing to just sort of feel positive about. So I think that you can really only take small steps. Remain in the current moment. Remind yourself that life is in current change. It doesn't have to stay stuck. Like, for example, you might feel stuck in so many different ways, and when it rains, it pours. So a lot of times when we have one thing that we're frustrated about, we'll have like a gazillion things just snowball right after to be frustrated about. But again, like, once you start to realize your worth, that, like, you know what, things are going to start changing. You notice a small change, even if it's tiny, and then you can say, well, that just happened, and then hopefully keep multiplying that. But whatever you focus on is going to multiply. And when there's so much that you want to change in your life, it can feel super overwhelming, but try to calm yourself in that overwhelming feeling. I think a lot of times guided visualizations or meditations can help in this state just to get you into a comforted and relaxed state of mind. Even think about a time maybe in childhood where you felt completely provided for, completely taken care of, where you didn't have all of these things to worry about, take into consideration, sort of like the burden of the world. You could be more carefree and playful. So try to get more into that state of mind. And don't pressure yourself. Like, you may still have 10 billion things that need to be fixed by the end of the day. But at the start of the day, just have some hope for the future. A little hope goes a long way. I feel like people survive like crazy situations through hope, through the smallest bit of faith. And I think that miracles come from that. Let's get the green question. What beliefs are in place if a specific person feels like they're emotionally unavailable or not ready to be together? I think this happens to a lot of your specific persons. Like, they say, I am not available, especially with guys. Like, guys will say, well, I mean, I think it happens with women too. So it's not necessarily a gender thing, but someone will just be not ready for this relationship and can kind of throw it in your face at times. Like, you know, this sort of feeling of unavailable. And a lot of times in your past, you might realize the last person that you were attracted to was unavailable as well. And sort of this feeling like, why do I keep attracting these people that just aren't ready to commit to me? Whenever this happens, I'd kind of, you know, take a few moments, to look within. And sometimes it helps to even see your situation from the standpoint of being outside of yourself. So for example, think about yourself as like your best friend and you're giving yourself advice. So look at your situation from a non-partial standpoint, from like a non-emotional standpoint, because you'll always find better answers when you are emotionally caught up in a situation. So when you're sort of wailing your heart out, this person is unavailable, less answers are going to come than when you can think of like giving yourself advice as like a best friend. Like, of course, if you think about your best friend, you want the best for them. You want them to be loved. You want them to be taken care of. You want them to be treated the best. So think in terms of taking care of yourself like you would try to take care of your best friend. And in dealing with someone who's unavailable, a lot of times you just have to take a break from them and just kind of allow them the space to miss you and to appreciate you and to value you. Because a lot of times we make ourselves too available to the specific person. Like we're just waiting until they're ready to be with us. We're like offering ourselves sort of as totally available all the time, like whenever they decide that their schedule opens up to give us like 5 minutes. That's awful. You don't want someone to have that kind of power and that kind of control over you. You want to be the one in control. So you can take back some of the control by just saying, you know what, I'm going to take a break from thinking about you. It's not that I don't want you anymore. It's not that I don't care about you anymore, but I care about myself more. I'm tired of being frustrated about you being unavailable. Like I am so tired of that. So I'm going to give myself a break and just do something else. Maybe look at my other options of like people that I could be attracted to. Like in exploring your other options, you're not giving up on your specific person, you're giving them competition, and they can feel that. Like they can feel when they're the only person that you are focusing on and when they sort of have to compete with like 2 other people, like they can feel the difference. You can always feel when you have to fight for something. So give them something to fight for. Okay, I think more questions came in. Okay, this blue one doesn't seem to have a question attached, but thank you. Here's a green one. Okay, sorry to bug. It's okay. You can bug me. One more question. How can we improve our reputation? Tried a few things like revision, but I have done so many dumb things in my life. You know what? I think you got to forgive yourself first. And you have to say to yourself, you know what? These things were stupid, but I do not have to live with these things for the rest of my life. Why should I have to suffer for the rest of my life when I honestly, feel I should have done better. I've even revised it in my head, what I would have done differently. Now it's time to finally forgive you and to not feel bound to those actions. Don't feel like those actions are part of your story. Rewrite your story from today. This is my fresh start. These things maybe happened in the past, but you know what? I don't have to access those memories anymore. Those memories only stay alive if I give them power. And, if you can set the standard and you can decide who you want to be, others will follow suit. Like they will follow in your footsteps, in a sense, of what you believe about yourself. So stop carrying the burden of these things in your mind and heart. Move ahead, move forward, and decide on who you want to be and start rewriting your story. And then that'll become the new normal. Like the old doesn't have to be the new normal. I mean, the normal anymore. Like you can make something be completely new and fresh and different, and that can be the story that is you. Okay, I've got another user submitted question. Let's read it. So this person has been trying to manifest a text or call from their specific person, but they haven't received it yet. I know a lot of you are in this particular situation. So they said that they've applied the process several times over the last 7 months without becoming obsessive. Okay. However, to confirm my belief, I have been playing games. I think that's his games. Each morning I visualize 2 things, words or songs, etc. And I give myself 48 hours to see it or hear it. Okay, that's cool. That's fun sometimes to sort of test your creative power to manifest. So they said that out of the 15 things I've done, I've received 14. Pretty cool. I have even had others give me something to see and a photo. I don't understand the rest of that sentence. Okay. What I want to know is, here's the question. If I can do this, then how come it's so hard to get the text? And I actually have the answer to that. They said that they've noticed that people are becoming nicer to them. Cool. Let's see, someone I had not spoken to in over 10 years sent me a message on Facebook, and the lady across the road turns out to be, let's see, a school friend. Okay. Okay, so they want tips. So basically they've been visualizing it and letting go of the outcome, but they still are in a place where they're wondering if it'll work, because I guess it hasn't worked yet. They've spoken to this person, let's see, 4 weeks ago, and he called me 7 times in 30 minutes. Okay, but, okay, I didn't understand that part. Oh, it's sort of a rambling question, but that's okay. We'll get to the heart of it because this is live. I should have maybe rehearsed this first. So basically, let's get to the heart of it. They are trying to attract, what are they trying to attract? I guess a text or call, let's see. But I thought they said that someone did just call them. Let's see. I've spoken to him. Oh, I didn't understand that last part, but basically let's just turn this into a question of someone that has been trying to attract a text or a call for 7 months straight. It sounds like this person has been sort of focusing on all the right things. They wonder why it's so easy to attract those other things that they've sort of been testing themselves with, but why it seems so difficult to actually attract this. And it's basically because your heart is more wrapped up into a situation with a specific person. If you think about it, if you're trying to see a particular song or word, like there's no emotional connection with that. You know, so that's why it's coming into your life so easily. And this person said 14 out of 15 things were success. Like, that's a lot. Now, the reason why usually a text or a call doesn't come through is because you're focused too hard on it. You're too emotionally caught up in not receiving it, in a sense. You know, maybe this person has disappointed you before in the past. Maybe you've been disappointed in love before in the past. So you just kind of expect it not to work out, even though you're doing things to attract it. A lot of times, you know, you don't want to spend 7 months visualizing. You just don't want to spend 7 months visualizing the same exact thing. I think that visualizing is best done in the beginning, and then you have to get to a place where you're actually going to receive it. So it's like you're, you know, courageous enough to stop the visualizing and say, well, my result is coming, so I wouldn't need to do that anymore. So it's like you visualize for just enough to sort of gain control on that amazing energy. And then you say, you know what, I've done it. It's time to experience the result, and I have enough faith in my creative power, in my creative energy, that it'll actually come through. And when you think about this person, don't think about the lack or why hasn't it worked yet. Think it's inevitable that this person will actually reach out and actually cares enough to reach out. Think about this person being on the same page as you, on the same team, sort of wanting the same goals instead of working against you, and you're sort of trying to convince them to reach out. Okay. Oh, wow. Let's an orange question. Let's do this. It's funny. I was just going to ask for a question that came through. That was an instant manifestation. Okay. Hi, Veronica. Thanks for your advice. I had contact with my ex already by video chat. He is from another country, and it was beautiful, but he has disappeared again. Okay, this happens a lot where you experience like a breakthrough, like suddenly they contact you and it feels great. And you're like, oh my gosh, I did it. Now it's time to have the results keep going up, 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 and then it stops. And then you're like, wait, what did I do wrong? But I did all the right things. Why did it stop? When this happens, you do not get, as this person said, feel angry, sad, etc. No, you stay true to the feeling of what the breakthrough felt like. Because again, things come in little pieces, and I don't know exactly why that happens. I mean, I don't have a scientific reason for it. I just have seen it enough in my life and enough in the lives of people that I've coached where you get a little bit and then it goes backwards a little bit, sort of like this hot and cold sensation. And I think sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for the new thoughts and energy to solidify in a sense. So just be patient, say, hey, wait a second, I got this great result. So you know what, more is probably coming. Now, I know that it's frustrating to have someone just disappear. Like, you don't want someone to just disappear on you. But say to yourself, you know what? I deserve more. I deserve better. I'm not going to be controlled. My happiness isn't going to be controlled by this person. So, for example, don't only feel happy when you're communicating with them on video chat. Like, you don't want that to be the source of your happiness. You want to feel happy regardless and have that be like the icing on your cake, like the bonus. So you don't want to be sort of so reliant and dependent where it's like you need a hit of something, like they become your drug. You don't want them to become your oxygen, your lifeblood, like what you are living for. You want to be living for you and then have them accent your life. The easiest way to resume contact is to know it hasn't gone anywhere. Maybe there's a little pause, but it's okay. Absence makes the heart grow fonder and it'll just get better, better, better. Okay, let's answer some more questions. Well, my girlfriend is 4 counties away. I thought that said countries at first, then I realized it was counties. We both have no means to see each other. It hurts so much. 147 miles separates us. We met around Christmas. We both have grown and in love. Well, you know what? Honestly, living in this day and age, you're so lucky because think about it, like 25 years ago, living that far apart, all you'd really have is like phone calls that's long distance. Like you'd have to pay long distance charges. And like you'd have to write letters. Like people really did that. They wrote letters in the mail. Think about it. Now you can like talk to someone and actually see their face. You can chat with them all the time. Now, I know you'd rather be with them, and especially if you don't have any physical means to be with this person, you think to yourself, well, this feels like I'm being robbed of being with my love. But you know what? Make the most of what you have. Like I said, you know, it's 2019 instead of like 1989. You have a lot more options in this day and age than you did then in terms of a long distance relationship. And what I would do is I would fall asleep every single night in the assumption that the distance can become less. Like instead of seeing this restriction in your heart, the way you feel about them, feel your situation is open and easy and accessible as if you could see them every single day. There's a reason why you came into one another's lives, and it wasn't to mock you with this 147 miles. So try not to keep reiterating that. Oh my gosh, 147 miles. Why is this happening? Think about how lovely it would be to just be able to be with this person and focus on your love and let the universe handle the rest, because it's amazing the way things can come together when you just allow them to happen. Hey, the 80s were the best. They were the best. I agree. I do agree. But in terms of communication, like it was a lot harder to communicate with someone. I used to write letters and like it'd take a long time. But it was fun. Like I'd have pretty stationery. Like we don't have stationery anymore. Like because we type on emails. So I'd have like pretty pens and stationery and stickers, and then I'd send off my letters. And I remember checking the mail every day and being super excited, you know, to see the letters from like people, you know, old friends, you know, that sort of thing. I never had a long distance love relationship though that I corresponded with letters, but I assume people did. You know. Hi, Veronica. How do we radiate and send love to our specific person? You can feel it like as a beautiful color or a beautiful energy or even like a song. You could even associate a particular love song with, or even any kind of song, sending them energy, like this sort of loving, beautiful energy. Now, I think in sending energy to someone, a lot of times people forget the most important part, and that is receiving it back. We're always so freely wanting to love someone other than ourselves. Like, why is that? So I think that it's really important to also imagine the love coming back at you. All right. But does long distance really work out? Sure, why not? I mean, plenty of people have started in long distance relationships. And I think that it shouldn't be seen as a hindrance. Whatever your current obstacle is, it can go away. Like it doesn't have to remain. The universe is constantly changing. So keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to wrap up for the day. I hope that you had a nice session with me. Feel free to email a question that you want live, answered live, veronicaisles@gmail.com. If you'd like to do one-on-one coaching with me, that is personal, private, confidential. I'm happy to help you one-on-one with your specific situation. That's veronicaisles.com. I do have 5 ebooks available on Amazon. I will list that link below. I do have some exciting new videos coming. I expect to see my bike tour of Cotopaxi uploaded later today. That's when I hiked, or at least attempted to hike up to the refuge. I actually didn't make it all the way. So one of my New Year's resolutions, the things that I want to manifest is being in better shape. I thought I was in good shape, but let me tell you, that altitude kicked my ass. I live in Chicago. Chicago's flat. Ecuador is not flat. So I was not prepared for that altitude. In any case, I had an awesome time attempting to hike to the refuge and then riding my bike. Wasn't my bike, it was a rental, but riding a bike down Cotopaxi. Cotopaxi is amazing. An active volcano. I actually didn't know that it was active. Well, I didn't realize to the extent that it was active when I went. But it is, in fact, an active volcano. Okay, so stay adventurous, stay happy. That's how you're going to get your specific person. And I hope that my videos can help cheer you on. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm always here to help. And I'm wishing you all the best.